All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. Link is in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks for support. But this video, though, is entitled Is America Losing at Capitalism? I was watching a riding special on Netflix. Remember the dope special on Netflix? The Jack Ma article about America did not invest in infrastructure, and this is part of the problem. Listening to BGS videos and started thinking and started realizing something. All of this issue with China is really because China is beating America at capitalism. Capitalism is built on outsourcing, right? You know, making something for dirt cheap, selling it marked up. This country is an outsourced country. It's a free country to the Europeans that came here. They didn't pay for it. They didn't trade for it. Capitalism maximized something, made people pay for something that they stole for free, right? Well, it's stolen blood, but didn't pay for it with money. Slavery, outsourcing, right? Capitalism. Get people to do free labor and you live off the benefits of that. Capitalism. Immense profits for cheap labor. The immigration, you know, bring us you're sick, you're tired, the great migration part of it. You know, capitalism. Get people to come here and work for dirt cheap under crazy conditions. This is why you had all these child laws, this, that, and the third, because, you know, it was, you know, a higher wage of slave, above a sharecropper, basically, right, for opportunity. Then you got illegal immigration, right, which simultaneously happened with outsourcing itself, where people coming from a free country, you pay them under the table, low wages, and you get the maximum benefit, so you save money or make profit off of their work. Same thing with outsourcing. You take a business, a corporation, you take it abroad somewhere globally, you pay the people a good wage for where they're at, but it's peanuts in American dollars, and now you mark up the product that you have in another country that you're making for cents on a dollar, but you selling it for, you know, for tens, 20s, hundreds on a dollar, right? So capitalism. Now the issue is, now you got countries like China who do the same thing, and they did it better. And to make it worse, what they did was they sold us the products, because America has been selling deficient products or cheap products to the world forever and a day. Cutting corners, you know, fillers, cutting purity, you know, taking a little bit off here or there, you know, lining your pockets. So now China's doing it, has done it effectively to this country, to the point where it had enough money to buy this country's debt from war and made this country dependent on Chinese products, which are made with cheap labor, right? But then people talk about, oh, these Chinese products, you know, they don't last, they're not built to last. Well, that's how a lot of people felt about American products. Just saying, you know, cheap, overpriced, not built to last, pretty much, right? So now America's mad because other countries are beating America at capitalism. This is why you got to bring the guns and the military out all the time, because guess what, you know, their tactics of capitalism, you know, beat these countries. And what wound up happening is this country got over so many times, even on the people in this country. You always had to make new laws, ratify things, amend things, because everybody was always trying to get a loophole. And thus why you have the society you do have, because it's been hundreds of years of reform, because there's been a lot of people who are just criminal minded, because the country was basically created in a criminal-minded way. You know, we glorify criminals as founding fathers, and their tactics are good when we do them to other people as a country, but not good when other countries do it to us. But that's the price of doing business in capitalism, right? And what I mean by that is this. Because even when I was listening to the BGS video about France trying to make sure that Africa doesn't, in the French colonies or former French colonies in Africa, have to use their currencies. Because if they don't, they're just going to crash, basically. Because they need Africa to survive. Right? What does that mean? Because when Africa starts selling their own resources without French intervention, what does that mean? They're beating France at capitalism. You have no products. You have no product to sell. You know, you can't tax somebody on something that you don't own, right? And it's the same thing with America. Like, you know, they was talking about the honey market and the garlic market and peanuts of basically China cornering all of these markets. Mega billion-dollar industries. And China has just cornered the market on them, right? Doing just simple stuff, you know, making so much money that sending America products, and then America like, no, we can't take them. Okay, well, we just send them to Taiwan and put a new stamp on it and send you the same thing. And we made a deal with Taiwan. We made a deal with, you know, the Philippines. We made a deal with, you know, Indonesia. You know, we're going to get you the same stuff. We just going to pay them and you're going to take it from another country. And now, you know, people are mad. Like, I can't believe they're doing this stuff. You know, putting high fructose corn syrup and such fillers like that into honey, right? Making money hand over fist. As if America doesn't cut the purity of products. That's what this country does. You know, and it made me remember that Netflix special Dope, when the guys were in the jungle, I want to say in Colombia, making cocaine, getting it to the Dominican Republic, then the price goes up. Then getting it to Miami, and then the price goes up. Then selling it to the consumer, and then the price goes up. And these were massive jumps in profits. Massive jumps, right? So it's made dirt cheap, but by the time you got it, it was sky high. But you can afford it because you're American. It's worth the risk, right? Your high is worth the risk. And it's worth the markup that you're going to get. Which is part of the reason why, in my opinion, the DEA was never really successful, because it's too much money to be made. And why all these other markets have the same issue, because it's too much money to be made. People can be bought off. Just a fact of life. You know, corporations buy people's respect and influence and power all the time. Just look at how politics is set up. You know, it's about voting per se, but it's really about lobbyists. If you got a corporation or you got enough cash, you can get somebody to do your bidding for your financial benefit. And because this is happening and other countries are doing it to America better than America has done it to them, now America has a problem. Which leads me to the old conversation about is white flight fear of competition. Because now that you have to compete, it's not fun anymore. You know, because people understand that capitalism has no rules. It really doesn't. The rule is to make as much money as possible. And in American capitalism, it's different, because you make as much money as possible and you cut as many corners as possible to get it and let people figure out the rest on the back end. So if you are a capitalist, you know, there, to a degree, there is no integrity there. There's no ethical business behavior there. It's just all whatever. You know, people talk about a drug dealer mentality, but capitalism is the father and mother of a drug dealer mentality. Getting to the point of Jack Ma, this country invested in war more than infrastructure. So while you mad at these other countries for making a come up, you got to remember this is the same country when we was like, we need to reinvest in infrastructure. People was like, nah, don't worry about that. Other countries don't believe that. They invest in infrastructure. Everything isn't just the defense budget. Because you got infrastructure, you got the ability to produce goods and services, and those goods and services can be sold not only domestically, but globally. But if you don't invest in infrastructure, it's going to make you a consumer till your death. So it is what it is. So in my opinion, this country is losing at capitalism, and now they mad about it. It is what it is, though. We out.